How much time would it take you to go through the top 100 stocks looking for rising wedges, falling wedges, or harmonic patterns? Well, Chart Forecaster does this in a mere matter of minutes versus hours that it might take somebody to go through the top 100 stock assets or crypto assets. Now, the beautiful thing about this is it saves us time, and time is money. Now, we're scanning the markets at a very rapid pace here. You guys can see how fast this is. And really, we're looking for things like rising wedges, falling wedges, tradable patterns that we can trade, right? And it takes time to go through the markets and really find some of these patterns to begin with. So here's a perfect example. These are some of my favorite patterns that set up when we get the regular wedge pattern alongside a harmonic. Let's just look at SPGI. Okay, SPGI, S&P Global. We've got what is known as a falling wedge here, and we've got what is known as a bearish Gartley. So this is going to send possibly the price up to around 448, up to 488. That's its estimation. But you can see that there is this falling wedge. We do have the harmonic pattern that is emerging. This could certainly break down, but this is nice to know about these types of trading setups and things like that. Here's Uber, right? We've got a nice falling wedge style pattern with a very similar, bearish Gartley, which is emerging. So this would be something to keep our eye on, because if this does turn, you know, we could see this thing rip up another couple bucks all the way up to 80 bucks. So with that said, Chart Forecaster does a great job at really snuffing out a lot of these patterns that are emerging. This allows us to possibly make a trade or two, things like that. Same with crypto. We can go ahead and scan the top 100 crypto assets, and you guys can see rising wedge on XRP. It's scanning here live. I'm not speeding this up. Everything you are seeing is live. Bitcoin Cash falling wedge with a nice harmonic. But there is a lot of these patterns that Chart Forecaster is picking up on. So with that said, Chart Forecaster is an amazing tool. And let's just say, for example, we'll go back to Uber, right? Let's say Uber. We're looking for Uber. Now, one cool thing is the volatility and reversal calculator. This is unmatched. This will tell you guys, it'll give you an idea of when the markets are gearing up to move. So we can go to Uber, and Chart Forecaster places all these little dots on the chart. And each one of these dots is posted on this chart 9 days in advance. Once it gets posted onto this chart, it gets added to the timeline and it's hard coded in. Now, each one of these dots is an event marker, and each event marker has a meaning behind it. So 9 days in advance, we were able to, on Uber, basically predict the exact bottom. We're able to predict a reversal. We were able to predict that bullish or bearish momentum would start building here. We're able to predict volatility, pauses and breakouts, and all sorts of other stuff. So you guys can see how useful of a tool Chart Forecaster is. And we've got something called Sniper's Paradise. If you see a great setup that is happening, you can export it right to Sniper's Paradise and we all get to eat together. So that is very cool, to say the least. And there's so many other features within the volatility and reversal calculator. Auto Gonfans. We've got auto wedge detection and things like that. Auto harmonics. So you guys can see the wedge detection in real time. We're saying, hey, guess what? There could be a little reversal here. We've got a rising wedge to support this. The price is starting to dump now, but traders that use this tool know about all this stuff in advance. So I highly recommend it. It's $9.99 a month, and it'll save you so much time. You won't know what to do with yourself. But we'll see you guys on the next video.